Yeah.
I used to work there. Like, I know this fucking play like the back of my fucking hand, right? So this play followed the life of Chief Blue Jacket. Now, Chief Blue Jacket was a real person. He was a chief of the Shawnee Indians who fucking went to war with the white man and the British and fucking won these wars, and then they shipped them away, right? So the Shawnee Indians is the same fucking tribe that Tecumseh came from, and Tecumseh's a fucking cool motherfucker too. So, anyways, Blue Jacket, the whole story of Blue Jacket is this. Chief Blue Jacket was supposedly a white man who was captured by the Shawnee Indians at a young age, that eventually was adopted by the Shawnee and became the fucking chief of the Shawnee Nation. Because I guess the Shawnee just said, fuck it, we don't care if he's white or not. We fucking adopted him as an Indian, so he's going to fucking be that. Basis of the whole fucking story, right, is this white man who became the chief of the fucking Shawnee and led him in war and all this type of stuff. The guy's name was like Marmaduke Van Schweringen. That's not an important fucking detail, but that was the dude's name just because I know the story. Here's what happened, right? That was the story for fucking 50, 100, 200 years. And that's what this whole play was based off of. Motherfuckers come from everywhere, right? My job was to park the cars. And after the cars were parked, I had to go around and tally, like, what license plates were coming from where. That way we were spending our marketing dollars in the right places. People come from fucking everywhere to come see this bullshit, right? Here's the funny thing about this story. Ends up coming out about maybe, I think, a decade ago, is that this motherfucker wasn't white in the first place. You know what it was that this kid or whatever, when he was a teenager, went out fucking hunting in fucking Ohio, Kentucky area and shit, got fucking killed by some Indians, and the chief liked his blue fucking jacket and stole his fucking jacket and wore that shit. And so, when the fucking British and the Americans went to war with them, they invented this story like they couldn't fucking live up to the fact that they just got beat by a fucking savage Indian. They were like, well, obviously, this was a fucking white man who decided to become an Indian. And so now the play is shut down.
Fucking beautiful.
What'd you say?
Indians were the real deal. I said that Indians were fucking beautiful. They weren't savage at all. They were fucking amazing.
I didn't say they was. I was saying that's what they said. Because fucking they had little dicks and they couldn't fucking accept what was going on.
If I could go back, I'd try Indian. I'd want to be an Indian, like American Indian. Maybe change it. Try to, like, swing the war. People are like, fuck that. Don't even go over there, dude. They will whoop your ass. Like, we'll bring tanks and guns and shit. Like, nope. Won't matter. They know how to stop it. Like,
yeah, maybe in your next life you'll go back and live the life.
The yellow metal, dude. He said the yellow metal drove men crazy.
The yellow metal? Like fucking
Gold.
people pissed? Oh, okay.
No, yellow metal. It's like the yellow metal drove men crazy. They didn't give a fuck. It's not gold to them. It was yellow metal. No fucking gold. You don't give a shit about that.
I wonder when that happened. Like, I'm a history major. I feel like I should know this. Like, when was it that, like, people decided, like, gold was, like, important?
Way back, like 18-something.
Like, when it was, like, gold. We need gold to pay for everything. Oh, fuck being able to just fucking barter and get whatever we want. We need gold. Gold everywhere.
We decided that. We decided it was precious and neat and cool. Like it's not. It's just a metal that nobody. It's a yellow metal to the Indians. They have no value. It's no worth anything. It's not that. Yeah.
One smart ass crafty motherfucker was like, "Hey, look at this fucking like useless shit that's pretty. Like here, this is what we're gonna pay for everything now." That was a smart ass motherfucker.
I mean, what if it had been like tin or copper or something like that? Somebody was not smart enough, because then they could have got the cheap shit. There was a lot of it and made it seem like it was expensive.
Oh no, they made it. They said because it was fucking, it was a finite resource and it was hard to fucking get. So like the more rare something is, like the more valuable it is. I mean, it's just supply and demand. Don't make me school you on economics, Dave. Wait, don't.
I mean, you
get
don't
into
know about economics.
Dave, let's talk about how big your dick is. That way, I mean, we know that, like, I'm the only one who can pull chicks from doing this podcast, so I want you to be able to fucking, like, join in.
I'm cool, dude. Fuck these women. None of them they're all weird, dude. I'm tired of it. Everybody's fucking weird. Nobody's cool and normal in themselves. Like, I don't know how to. That's the thing. I feel like I've been like muted for a while now. I just can't be myself. I can't be funny and all. There's people like demand that you be like them or like you. I don't know. I can't take it. Like I just need to meet a cool chick. There's not any fucking for real cool girls around. It feels like I've not found a motivated, successful, driven, like smart, funny. Like I mean I don't know, dude. It's not something that even trying to find that, fuck finding a woman, an employee that'll work worth the shit. I cannot believe the amount of grown adults that don't have licenses and that don't want to work and that don't want to like stay working and don't want to do shit. Like, I don't understand. I don't understand how it's real or how the fuck. I mean, hundreds and hundreds of people have no skills. They have no desire to work. I don't know how they survive. I don't know how they've ever survived and how they've got to this point where they're even willing to go to a job. Somebody, Tyler, told me, he was like, really it's because people that are on unemployment have to fill out, applications and shit just to stay on unemployment. They have to fill out like 8 a week or something, and it's like...
Yeah, they don't really have to. You have to fill out 2 a week, but you can kind of lie about it. They don't check up on it. That's the thing. When government gets involved and fucking like makes mandates and shit, they say, oh, well, you have to do this. But the fact is they don't pay anybody to actually really follow up on every single person and make sure that they're fucking filling shit out, especially now with the online environment. You can fucking say that you've put in fucking online applications at, however many places a week. They're not going to call the place and say, hey, did David Casel fill in an application? And did you schedule him for an interview? Like, all you got to do on your fucking unemployment is just sit there and say that you fucking filled it out on this date. And, like, the government's like, just give this motherfucker money.
Yeah, still, that's what they do. And, like, most of them, and any quality employee with, like, some real background that's actually interested in kind of, like, changing their career and getting something new started, and they've been doing stuff for a while, like, when you try to explain to them how much money they're going to be making, and even the idea that they can get bonuses and they can create their own income by being successful at it and putting a lot of drive and effort and anything towards it, the whole concept of, like, putting effort into making their own money or making more money by putting in the work for it is like, it's like, nah, I just want the money right now and then I'll do what you need me to do. It's like, they have no desire to like really craft it and learn it. They just are like, no, I need $42,000 a year. I can't, sorry. Good luck. Like, there's no people that are those kind of people that are at that level where at least they're professional enough to actually do it as a job. I mean, like, they want paid. They want real pay. They know their worth. They won't do it. And it's like, it's very, very, very difficult to find quality employees, And if you want to make like a successful business, because a lot of people want their fair share. They don't want to like make someone else, richer and richer and richer. And I don't know. It's hard to get real people that actually.
That's the reason why, it's weird because, like, I consider myself a libertarian, but I also see, like, the power that's behind, like, a union,
Right.
And not just a union that's, like, trying to get more and more for like some unskilled labor or some shit or whatever. But when you're actually able to fucking be like, we have this skill and we want to negotiate, and because your employer's job is to pay you as little as you're willing to get paid to do as much work as you can so that they can make as much money. And that's okay. Like, it's kind of fucked up, but that's okay. But
I get it. Like, it sucks.
Right.
But yeah, I understand the concept
but what
of
ends
how
up happening is, yeah, but what ends up happening is, like we've talked about and stuff, so you get a good employee, and, you know, that employee may actually be worth like $5 more an hour than the rest of your employees. But the person who owns the company is not going to pay that guy $5 more an hour than the rest of the employees. He'll like give him like $1, you know, at best. And that guy's like the top of the food chain at that point. And so that guy's only going to do that for so long before he starts fucking stealing from you, before he starts fucking doing some other shit, you know? Like, to have a good, loyal employee who's worth his fucking money, who's worth paying him extra money and shit, you got to pay that motherfucker.
And I mean, the more and more like I involve myself in that and seeing how like people are just not willing to, they're not willing to sacrifice, they're not willing, even when you give somebody a chance who like has some ability, like that has some drive and you can see it there and you understand like, okay, they may not have the best, you know, background, they may not have the best like, you know, experience in this, but they seem driven and hungry towards an idea that you can give them. So they'll even start, like, you know, they'll start and they'll get into it and they'll try, and it's like maybe they do have some success in it early, and they're like doing good things, and you're like, okay, yeah, I see this. But then they start having like these other things that you either have to sacrifice for to keep them learning and interested, like if they want to call off, like, or have, you know, the freedom to leave when they want, if they to do things like. There's just a certain amount of like professionalism, like things that you have to have as well. Like, okay, well they can fill a need for a moment, but then they need all these extra things where they still put you in a bind where you could really just use someone else that maybe even that could just be there to do it. Like, and they still like give up on it because when you finally, like you were saying, when you finally put your foot down, that made me like a thing. Is as long as you let people like do what they want to do, and you don't put any sort of like barrier in between that, and you don't try to ruffle the feathers of it, it's okay. And then the moment that you try to ask for some sort of respect or like a boundary or like an idea to set in place that's not, you know, under their direction and like a thing that is, you know, it causes problems. So like, you know, just for instance, there was this person that just kept wanting to call off and, you know, needing to leave 2 or 3 hours early all the time, like, and, you know, right when they were starting. And it's like, okay, I understand. Okay, it's not going to be like this. Okay, it's not going to be like this. I understand. Yeah, you have to be here more. Okay. Like, finally, when you're like, you know, listen, you cannot call off again. Like, you have to be here. There's a lot of work that needs to be done. We need you. They're like, you never mind. Like, you know what? Fuck it. I quit. I can't do it. I can't. This is a hat. I can't be at your. It's like, okay. Back to the drawing board, like to find somebody who can just kind of be like, even we've had other applicants, like there's very, very few like talented people that even like are kind of even searching it out. So when you find like a good one, you can go all through it and you can tell them, you know, all about the stuff, the way they can make money, the way they can make more money, the things that they can do, like the you know, trying to explain some sort of like example or, you know, the expectation that you require. Then they're like, okay, well, how much money? And it's like, you tell them the money, and they're like, I can't work for that. And it's like, how much more? I don't know. It's like you can make as much. I make just as much as like a manager or above because I work very, very hard to do it. Like, I understand that I have a need that I need to fill in order to then also be successful myself in doing it. Yes, it's a lot of work. Yes, it's like aggravating and stressful at times, but it's like, I don't know, there is still a value in it that people just don't hold important anymore. There's nobody left. Like old, young. I mean, I've seen everybody from young, like and up into like their 50s and 60s trying to do this stuff, but they just don't care. They don't want to do it. I don't know what to do, man. We're dying.
Well, you got to stop fucking your employees, Dave.